Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. Today I want to respond to a comment because the way this guy handled his ex calling him, I think a lot of people end up in this situation and they don't know what to do. But you're going to find out. So let me go through the comment. It says, after my ex left me citing reasons as uncertainty about the future and her parents not accepting me and wanting to be single for a few years, a week later she called me on my birthday. By the way, those all sound like great reasons, but you know what? There's only ever one reason why anyone breaks up with you, and that is because their interest level dropped to below 50. That's it. So those are all the reasons that she tells herself and you that she wanted to break up. But basically, if her interest level was high enough, she wouldn't have cared what her parents thought, she wouldn't have wanted to be single, and she wouldn't have cared about uncertainty for the future. Just so we're clear here. Okay, so she called him on his birthday. Okay, that's good. And he says he responded to that. Then a month later, my ex texted me asking a general question which I didn't reply to. 2 days later, she followed it with, just want to let you know you're the best friend I ever had and will always be thankful for you in my life. Really? Then why'd you break up with him? I didn't respond till 5 days later and only responded to her general question and not responding to her friend message. Good. She replied 2 days later, everyone's taking days to respond here, with a, did you have a problem with what I said? Rude of you not to reply. Oh, now she has an attitude? She broke up with him and she has an attitude? No. That doesn't fly. You'll see why in a minute here. And so he replied with, oh, hey, sorry. I generally got a little flustered and I didn't know how to reply. I apologize that it came off as me being rude. Well, I think I might know why she broke up with him. He's being a beta. What are you apologizing for? There's nothing to apologize. If you don't want to respond, you don't have to respond. She broke up with you. Now things are on your terms. If you don't want to reply, you don't reply. If you don't want to reply for 5 days, you don't reply for 5 days. And if your ex has a problem with it, oh well, maybe they shouldn't have broken up with you. Continuing, he says, she went ahead and grilled me, saying she takes back what she says if it bothered me so much. She thought it was a sweet message, but clearly I think in unusual ways. She sent a lengthy response, sort of bitter. I replied once again, being apologetic. No! Stop it. I actually did a video where I talked about stop apologizing to your ex, especially if you're a guy. You're going to come across as a beta. An alpha male takes responsibility for their actions, and they're not constantly apologizing. So if someone says, hey, did you do that? Or did you say that? They say, yeah, I did. If you have a problem with it, we'll talk about it. But you don't just go, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, continuing on. So I replied once again, being apologetic and saying that I was genuinely flustered. Don't say that. Don't say you're flustered, male or female. And I'm thankful for her in my life. Yet she's not in your life. She broke up with you. And not to look too much into it. She responded with, why were you flustered? I replied, because the message was unexpected. That shows lack of confidence. Instead of expecting your ex to eventually pop up, you're like, oh, wow, I'm so surprised. She goes, K. She just put the letter K. That was nearly 10 days ago. What should I do? I'm at a loss of ideas rather than just go further no contact. Further no contact? You just broke no contact. You go back into no contact and start counting again. That's what you do. But basically, I wanted to read this comment because I think this is a mistake that people make when they hear from their ex. Yes, they get flustered. Okay, fine, whatever. But don't suck up to them. Don't be apologetic if you don't want to respond. And don't think, oh, I have to be nice in order to get them back. Well, they weren't nice to you, and yet you want them back. So why do you think that you have to be nice to them in order to get them back? Maybe by not being nice to them, maybe by standing up for yourself and not letting them push you around, maybe by having some balls, they might be attracted. Rather than just, oh, I'm sorry, Your Highness. I'm sorry if I upset you by not answering or by answering the way I did. Don't be afraid of upsetting your ex. They weren't afraid of upsetting you, and now they want to come back and just chat like la la la, nothing happened? No, I don't think so. If they really want to get back with you, they're not going to all of a sudden change their mind just because you didn't respond or because they didn't like your response. Okay? I'm not saying be rude, but if they call you out on something and you really didn't do anything, then don't be afraid to come back with, excuse me? It's like, whoa, you break up with me and now you're accusing me of being rude? So don't let them twist things around. Don't get it twisted. So if you would like to work with me personally with private coaching, you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, thank you for subscribing. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.